over there and... Oh, hello there. Welcome to Uberquay Library. I'm the Chief Librarian, Stella Baker. Is there any specific genre you're in the mood for? Action? Comedy? Perhaps stories about Goliaths consuming copious amounts of cannabis and then smashing through a door. What a coincidence! Because I happen to have with me my own self-written and published novel series, Good Riddance. I can tell by your facial expression that you're incredibly interested. I'd love to read it for you, but the library is closing soon. I'm not sure why you came to a public library at 11 o'clock at night, but I suppose I could provide you a public reading. Not like we have any other option, as the door's electric locks do seal all entrances and exits automatically at this time, and they won't be opening until tomorrow at noon. My first debut! How exciting! Well, why don't you go take a seat by that cardboard cutout of Kevin Bacon saying "book loose" and, Huh? Oh, of course we didn't get his permission. Now, let's begin.
Hello everyone and welcome to the premiering episode of Rights and Wrongs, a D&D live action play podcast. I think that's how you say it. I think it's the term people tend to use. A D&D live action play podcast. I think that's the exact description that we need to have. This is like I said, D&D podcast, where me and 4 of my friends are going to go on a brave adventure. I will be playing the role of the DM, and I will be taking my 4 friends through a journey. And this specific campaign, as we are planning to do multiple, if this one does well, which we hope it does because we put a lot of effort into it, and we're all really excited to just jump into it. So this campaign's name specifically is Good Riddance. That's kind of an idea, and it'll make more sense as the campaign goes on as to the reason for the name. There are multiple reasons and definitions and things to look into, but that's all for you if you want to, and you don't even have to. You could just sit here and enjoy the dumb stupidity of our comedic lunacy, I guess you could say. But speaking of those lunatics, the 4 players, I think we're gonna just jump into it. We're gonna get some introductions. We said we were gonna form an order before this, but we did not do that. So we're just gonna go crazy. I'll just start in the Discord order, I guess.
Discord order. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, you're up first in the Discord order. Give us the name, who you are. Obviously, you don't have to do full real names. You can do username, whatever you want. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Your name, your character's name, and give us a little fun fact about your character.
Cool. All right, my Discord name is Epic Bowling Champ. That's my online personality, or whatever. Anyway, my character's name is Bart Clifton. You can read if you read in between the lines, you'll find something witty and awesome about that. Anyway, the interesting fact about my character is my character survived a bus crash. This is an alternate timeline of another character who did not survive the bus crash. My guy survived the bus crash, and that leads to his character arc.
Interesting. We're already forming the deep lore connections. Now everyone's gonna go theorize online.
Yep.
We're very excited to have you, Bart Clifton.
Anyway, next.
I'm sure. Wow. Okay, I was gonna keep talking.
No talking for you.
Fine. You know what? A negative inspiration to you. You're not. Cool. You're not allowed. Fine. I guess if he doesn't want to, am I going to call you your actual name as opposed to just Epic Bowling Champ?
Yeah, just call me Joey.
All right, cool. This is Joey. Yeah, I just doxed him. Here's his address. You can go find it now and ask him why he made.
You even know my address?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll get it from.
I thought
Cole.
you might have, but.
I'll get it from.
Yeah, Cole will tell you.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go next up on the list. Give us your name, your character's name, and a fun fact about your character.
I'm Jacob. We will decide a nickname for me or other Jacob. My character's name is Urgel. He is a Goliath barbarian. And a fun fact about him is he has a thing against walls and doors.
Cool.
Yeah, I forgot to mention I'm a bard.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're what's the race? What's the race on that?
think I'm just human.
Yeah, you're
Hold
just,
on.
you're just a guy.
Yeah. I'm just a
Just
dude.
a guy.
Just a guy. Yeah, we'll come up with a nickname soon enough. Whether we just use Wimba or whatever, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I was very much aware from the way I've seen you play D&D before that you are not a fan of walls and or doors, as you will find any excuse to smash through a wall. Yeah.
It's just the best way to play. I mean,
Exactly. You know what? You make a valid point. And yeah, I probably should have said that. That's my bad, Joe. I should have said something like, "Hey, when you say the game of your character, also go ahead and give like the race and class because they don't know."
Yeah,
yet."
it's fine.
Yeah, sick. All right, next up in the Discord order, what we got?
Hello, my name's Jackie. I am playing as Mina, the Aarakocra Road, and my fun fact is her favorite stone is opals.
Cool. Short and sweet, to the point.
Mhm.
Likes
Yep.
opals. Will she be
Opals, yeah.
stealing any opals?
Almost definitely. She'll
Okay.
steal anything and everything.
Makes sense.
Yes.
See, we're getting the character arcs defined here. Now we're getting it together. You're gonna steal something. Jacob's
Mhm.
gonna break through a wall.
or
I'll
two.
steal a rock
Or
from the
two.
wall.
Yeah, you'll steal. It's a wall of opals. Who would have guessed? And then Joey is going to get in a bus crash.
It already happened, but
I'll
okay.
put you in another bus crash.
Okay, guy.
Awesome.
At the beginning of every session, you get into a bus crash.
Yeah, you tell us what a different bus crash you survived and the split timeline that happened where the character died.
There's just a bus lurking around every corner.
That definitely makes sense in, considering the the time period in which this campaign takes place.
Yep. There are buses in this
What's
time
a
period.
bus? Alright, and finally in the Discord order, who are you? Who do you play? What's
Hi,
your favorite...
I am Jacob. I'm playing Will Conyu, a sorcerer Aarakocra, and my fun fact is he enjoys tea.
That's cool. That's a nice fact. I'll make sure there's never any tea in this campaign, so... I actually wrote that in my notes that, they don't drink tea. So...
Alright, Owen, I'm coming over to your room.
Only
Yeah,
coffee.
Jacob and I are currently in the same building with a paper thin wall in between.
We're
us.
lovers.
We are lovers. That's just a fun fact about us.
Exposed.
No. You know what? Let them hear. So he very well, if he is not happy with something I do, then he can come over and beat me up. But vice versa. If I don't believe him on a roll, you better believe him storming into his room immediately to check. Yeah, we're doing
Don't
good.
worry, Owen, I only ever roll 20s.
You're thinking of other Jacob now.
You're right.
Yeah, let's see if the luck will hold up.
We'll see. He other Jacob. We gotta come up with a name fast. I'll use Wimba for now. Wimba has been very, very like when we played D&D in person. I don't think in person I've ever seen him roll below like a 14. It's always
First roll, it's gonna be a nat 1.
It's always like 15 and higher on the die. And then he has insane stats, so he's like, so that's a 27 for my strength check? And it's not even like a crit or anything, it's like he got a 16. It's insane. But, when we did our session 0, he was not doing so hot on those perceptions, so let's see if that continues. He's got
Like
good
I said,
stats,
first
but can I
roll,
make him
nat 1.
fail? Was it actually?
Maybe.
This is my time. Speaking of my time, I'm the DM, as I mentioned earlier. I am Owen, or DocFusion, as most people know me. A fun fact about me, I love D&D, and I love Friends, so that's why I decided to combine neither of them, because these don't really contain, the factors of any of those, so we're going to go on. We're going to just roll with it.
Practice rolling, I've already rolled 2 nat 20s. Let's get it.
Okay, well,
This guy.
Why do you even call it
Are
Nat?
you kidding
What
me?
does Nat mean?
natural.
Natural.
Oh.
Like on the die, you rolled a 20.
Okay.
As you
That's
can,
an auto
as you can tell,
success.
I guess I probably should have. I can't talk today, which is not good for a podcast. Shut up! Shut up! I talk.
There's number 3.
I decided when I was like, oh, we should do a D&D podcast that isn't Deoxys Ex Machina, because Deoxys Ex Machina is just random bullcrap, but like not the one that's good to post because no one knows what's going on. This one will be that, but better. So I was like, oh, I want to do like a good D&D podcast with some friends. Literally the first thing that came to mind, I was like, I want to do it with people who don't know how to play. Because I want to see what interesting things they could come up with. So I'm very excited. We have Joey and Jackie here who have
we've never played before.
Nope.
Oh, also she didn't say her username. This is Squid Play. Jackie, you should subscribe. Do that thing. Joey and Jackie are new, but both of the Jacobs are very familiar with D&D. We played a lot together. Played a lot. Jacob, the not Wimbo one.
That's me.
That's him. He kind of is responsible for. There's a handful of people, but like he is one of the like 3 people responsible for teaching me how to play in the first place. So
that was me. I did that.
Yeah, you did.
I'm taking all the credit.
You
Luke gets
brought
none
this
of it.
upon yourself. Everything I do D&D wise from now on is your fault. So hopefully you're ready to bear that burden. And speaking of bearing that burden, I think we're about ready to get into this. What do you guys think?
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Then let us begin. A gentle breeze sweeps the land, this great sprawling plains. There's tons of farmland and stretches of crops such as corn and pumpkins and such for miles as far as the eye can see, really, as the gentle waves of the nearby lake gently wash against the sand. Everyone seems to be bustling around the city, and things seem to be in motion for what appears to be a grand party. As here in the great town of Villundium, in the land of Divinico, there is a great festival that is underway. People are setting up banners, and they're setting up all these posters and streamers, and all these decorations are going up for what appears to be a Centennial festival. And people are bustling. There's shops where people are constantly moving in and out, carrying goods back and forth, stocking up the shelves for all of the incoming guests. And you also see tons of what appear to be giant electoral officials walking around town, very pronounced with their chest puffed out, almost as if they're preparing for a speech they're about to give. And everything seems to be very excited right now. And for this great festival, there are a few things to note that will be very important here. There are several events that will be going on throughout the festival that people can check out. One of which being a Woodstock-like festival with several musical artists from all across Divinico to perform, including one, Bart Clifton. What do you think Bart would be doing now? There's no musical acts performing yet. Everyone's kind of setting up. What do you think Bart would be doing?
He's probably just warming up on bass, honestly. Like, especially if it's happening soon.
Cool.
I'm assuming that's right.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. But literally, whatever you think your character might be doing, might be saying, yeah.
Yeah, he's probably just warming up.
Are you doing this in like, there are like several, close to like, if Firefest actually happened, there are like tents and stuff set up. So, would you be like in your own tent, kind of warming up? Would you be maybe around the stage in public? Where do you think?
Probably around the stage. There's definitely a big performance going on. There's the big stage, and people are like, there's multiple bands going out through. I'm a solo artist right now. I'm trying to get a band together because right now my old band I'm not with right now. So I'm just doing a little solo tour on bass. So I'm the next one. I'm the next two up, like after 2 more. So I'm just in the back, just warming up.
Yeah. Well, currently, I guess I don't know if I mentioned it clearly enough. Currently, there are no musical acts performing right now. It is kind of in the off time. Everyone's like practicing. They're getting ready because they will begin in the coming day or so. But there'll be previews throughout the time.
I'm still warming up. Doesn't change anything.
As you're there, you do, like you said, you see a lot of smaller bands of little groups of different people. You see a group of what appears to be a 4-person Dragonborn barbershop quartet. as they're all of different colors. So you see as they're warming up, as they warm up and they go one by one making a note to try and get in tune with each other, you see a different blast of elemental smoke coming out of them. One breathes fire, one breathes ice, one breathes lightning, and then one breathes what appears to be some kind of just acid, just like spits out of them. But they all seem to be in unison and very well prepared for this event. You also see a group of these 4 drow who appear to be dressed completely in like emo rocker gear, with all the chains and things that you wouldn't expect to be in this time period exactly, but you know it works because it's medieval version. And they're just walking around. They got all their instruments with them. They're just kind of talking to each other, and you see a couple of these halflings who are sitting there, and they appear to be warming up. They're very acoustic. It's very country music sounding from what you can tell. Yeah, that's what's going on with you. Is there any specific thing you're practicing on your bass?
Probably a super melodic bass melody. So like probably, I don't know, like some melodic. I'm just practicing some melodies.
Yeah, for sure.
And like common scales and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Makes
No
sense.
specific songs.
As you're doing that, and you're actually going to a performance. Let's see how good your warming up here is.
Yeah. So I just get that. There we go. 22.
Oh wow, yeah, it's
Oh.
probably one of the most perfect scales you have played in your life. Just like rocking out
Nice.
every note is pitch perfect. You've tuned your bass to be perfect on every string, which you wouldn't expect nothing less from the Bart Clifton special.
Yep.
But as you're doing this, you notice as this very stout halfling comes walking up to you. Again, I guess because you're new. So halflings are like these. Again, they're stout, so they're about 3 feet tall. Very like kind of bulky-ish, but like smaller people with a lot of body hair. But like this guy, he walks up to you, and he just looks at you and goes, "That's some mighty fine bass work, I must say."
I thank you very much. How's so wait, what's up with you?
Oh, what's up with me? Well, clearly, what's up with me is very busy. As he points behind him, and you see a couple of very tall Goliaths that are standing there, and they kind of just have like a lot of heavy armor on, and they're just crossing their arms, and they're just looking around constantly at everyone passing by. He goes like, "Oh, you must not have met. We must not have. You must not know who I am yet." And he shakes out.
I don't.
Reaches out his hand, which for you is pretty low. But he reaches out his hand. He goes, "Jornie Haldon, the mayor."
Nice to meet you. I'm Bart Clifton,
Well, it's
epic bass player.
Oh, that's quite the title you have there, Mr. Clifton. I gotta say, I'm very impressed by that work there. I assume you're here to perform in our Centennial Festival.
Yes, very much.
Well, I'm sure the people of Divinico and the people of Villundium will be very very appreciative of the music that you've come to perform for all of us today, and I think it's going to go excellently. Do you have any specific songs you're thinking of playing for your set?
Not right now. I've put a few. Like I'm gonna do a bass line of Spirits Material World. That's one of my favorites. It's from my place, and maybe my time. I don't know where I am right now, honestly, but
Ooh, a musician with a mysterious backstory. Now that's something that will draw in crowds from miles and miles around.
Yeah.
I must say, you've got quite the gumption, kid. Hey.
yeah, I'll probably play a few jazzy pieces too.
Ooh, I do love a bit of swing, and he kind of like rocks his hips in a very weird manner that this guy should probably not be doing. I do love a bit of swing myself, so I would be very appreciative of that. Well, I'll leave you to it. I won't bother you anymore. But
Nice meeting you.
it's very nice meeting you too, Bart. And can I call you Bart?
Yeah, sure, Bart's fine.
Of course, Mr. Clifton, Bart. But if you were to, per se, have an opening in your schedule, and he flips out a business card, and he hands it to you, and he goes, "Why don't you pay me a visit?"
Will do. Sounds good. Thank you.
Do you take the card?
Yeah, I take the card.
You take the card, and on the card, it literally just says Jornie Haldon. Because they don't have printers, it's just scrawled on just a piece of parchment. But on it, you see a little address for what you can only assume is the mayor's office. But you also see, if you flip it over, you see written on the back that says 1 of 4. 1/4 is what you see there.
Huh. That's like a time. That's weird. It just looks like time signature to me, but that doesn't make any sense. Why would it just? That doesn't make any
Bro's
sense.
too music coded. It's
Yeah.
Can you play in 1/4?
1.
That would be the greatest song of all time.
That's my initial reaction.
Yeah. that makes sense. That makes sense. A character. All right, sick. Moving on. Going to my notes because I had all this written out because I knew what people would be doing based on their characters. And in town at a corner of, or I said corner, a junction, I guess would be a better word for it, of 3 cobblestone streets meet in this junction, forming a giant Y in the middle of the town. You're pretty close to the center of town, maybe not exactly there, but very close. And there's tons of shops and people walking around with goods. But there is a small crowd starting to form where everyone appears to be cheering, and they're holding out these cloth pouches. They're jingling with gold coins as they're staring at what appears to be a bird humanoid standing in the middle, performing some kind of magic trick with a Goliath. So what are Will and Urgle doing here?
Come on, my friends. Please gather round. Watch our show. For my next trick, I shall saw this Goliath in half.
Wait, what?
Lay down.
Oh god. Okay.
Alright.
I'm going to minor illusion
Ooh.
that my dagger is cutting him in half.
Okay. I would say for that, I wanted to say performance, but I'll say roll me a deception.
Okay. 21.
Alright. I assume they're not going to beat this, but I'll just try. Yep. Everyone is just, ooh, ah, and you hear a couple of kids go like, yeah, and you hear one kid go, ah, and just scream in terror as you're cutting this giant Goliath in half and is terrified at your prowess. And they all scream, and they're all just like, oh my god, do another one, do another one. Cut off his head, cut off his head.
Thank you, my friends. Thank you, my friends. Ooh, that's the bit trickier trick. Can I hear some cheers from the crowd? Who wants me to cut this Goliath's head off?
Literally every hand is raised. All these screaming kids and even a few screaming adults are just shouting at the top of their lungs, yeah! Cut off his head! Cut off his head!
Act like I wave my hands around where I've had the minor illusion to make it look like I'm sealing him back up, and then I will do the same thing with his neck.
Alright. You did really well in the last deception, but go ahead and roll me another one.
Okay. That is not as good. 14.
You maybe make some sloppier mistakes this time around. You go in for the saw and maybe you kind of trip into your illusion, and it's very clear that you're not cutting through his head, or I don't know. Actually, you know what? This would be really. I think Urgle sneezes. I think as you're going, Urgle sneezes, and his head just like rejoins, but no one seems to really notice, and they go like, "Yeah, cut off his head!" As you somehow, despite all of this, manage to still deceive them.
Thank you, my friends. Any donations are welcome. I hope you all have a blessed day.
They instantly start throwing money at you. They just start.
After I sneeze, I just like whisper, "Oh shit!"
I'll do that to move, Urgle.
They start throwing coins at you. They're going to. I did say gold coins, but considering how much a normal wage is, I'm gonna say it's not gold. They throw.
Dang, we're entertaining the poor people. We gotta go to the upper
I
district.
rolled for it. You get 5 silver.
All right, I'll give 2 silver to Urgle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And they're just like, set him on fire! Set him on fire!
Fire, you say?
This is like one kid. The kid who was like screaming in terror is now like super into it. It's like, set him on fire! I want to see the Goliath burn!
Are there guards around? I feel like this kid needs to be taken in for questioning.
It's not a heavily guarded town, but there are definitely a couple. Let me see if they notice. They do not. They are still standing in their post, and they're just looking around.
I want to get away from this kid.
Burn him! Burn him!
That'll be all for our show today. You can catch us later at some other time in town.
I'll give you a gold!
I minor illusion that he's on fire.
Roll me a deception.
Oh, 22.
Alright.
Oh.
And Urgle, I'm gonna need you to roll me. This one I'll make it a performance. Roll me a performance to see if you can actively display yourself, if you can portray being on fire.
Oh God. Okay.
You got this,
16.
buddy.
A 16. Yeah. Let me just. Yeah. The other pretty much all the other people have dissipated, and there's just the one kid who's seeing like. You just wave your hands and whoosh, you cover him in flames. Urgle starts panicking and running around. And then this one kid, who's like the only person left in the group, is on his knees with his fists up, yelling to the sky, "Yes!" Just full blown. He's going nuts and loving it. And then he reaches into his pocket and just goes like, "Sorry, Mom, no groceries for this week." And throws throws the gold at you.
No groceries for the week. Their family's gonna be dead. I give the gold to Urgle.
Yeah.
And then at this point, so this boy, I guess should do some actual describing. I'm trying to regain my composure now. I've completely. It's just a small humanoid boy, and then you see a human woman come out from a store holding a couple of pouches of things and look over to him, and she just goes, "Liam Hansen!" and then grabs him by the ear and just yanks him away. And yeah, the crowd is now dissipated, and you are now one.
Don't let that kid near fire.
She's like, "We already know. Why do you think we moved to this town?" And then they walk off.
It's got a record. What is he? How old does this kid look?
He's like 6.
Yeesh.
So yeah, they waltz off in the direction of another store. Her pulling his son by the ear. Yeah, and you are now 1 gold and 5 silver richer.
Let's go.
Cool. That was fun. And I think in a nearby shop, a nearby jewel shop actually, I believe there is an Aarakocra potentially performing a little heist.
Mm. Can I do like a perception on like what sort of jewels are there?
Roll me an investigation. See if you can
Investigation?
sniff out what kind of jewels are there.
14.
14? Okay. You see a variety of different stones, perhaps collected throughout. As you all have been able to tell, this is definitely a farming central village.
Mm-hmm.
And there are perhaps they've cleared out when they've made their rivers and their streams to help irrigate their crops, or maybe even from trying to disrupt the earth to plant their seeds. Perhaps they found a bunch of rare jewels and rare stones scattered about. And you're able to see displayed in a glass case by the counter, you see very clearly what appears to be a very shiny octagonal piece of obsidian, which appears to have a metal chain through it. You also see a standalone iridescent white pearl that is just kind of sitting there on its own little pillow. And you also see what stone should I say? Random jewels. You see a ruby. You see a ruby.
Ooh.
You see a ruby which appears to be on the end of this little wand. Almost. It doesn't seem magical necessarily, more just for aesthetics, but it is a very, very shiny wand with a ruby embedded in the tip of it.
Which jewel is the furthest away from the ruby wand?
I would say the ruby wand is kind of the focal point here. It's definitely in the center of these three. And I would say neither of them are really further away from the ruby wand. They're about equal distance, just kind of on opposite sides of it.
Okay. And I call over, like, the shop owner? Is there a shop owner?
Yes, there is. You notice this giant half-orc standing there behind the glass counter with one of those sets of glasses that has like the other focals that flip down. He's got some tweezers and some little tools, and he seems to be kind of chipping away and refining a gem in his work table.
And I call her, excuse me, what might you be working on?
He turns around and goes, "Oh, well, you see here, I just received the first time I have seen one in this condition. One of the farmers has just discovered an emerald on his farmland, and he's brought it back,
wow.
and I'm currently etching it to make a wonderful bracelet."
Oh, that sounds magnificent.
It truly,
Can you tell me
is.
which farmland did you happen to get that from? And can I try to steal it while I'm talking to him, like distracting him?
Yeah, roll me.
I want to steal the ruby wand, not the emerald.
Okay.
Let me clarify.
It is in a glass case, so it'll kind of have to be like you're like reaching around the counter. So I would say sleight of hand. What?
Before I try to steal it, is there any chance I come back there and see the emerald up close?
Roll me a persuasion.
Persuasion. Oh dear God. Okay. 3. That is a nat 1.
Oh, that's a crit fail. The half-orc just goes like, "What are you, some kind of thief? I'm afraid I cannot let anyone back here, miss. This is very private, very, very secure, and I need to make sure that I keep these jewels out of everyone's eyes and hands, unless you're a paying customer."
Of course, I completely understand. Now, could you now tell me about where you happened to find that? You found it on the farmlands?
Yes, it was Ferguson's. It was the Ferguson's, the cornfields, not too far south of here. And you said you're trying to like reach around and take the ruby wand?
Yeah, well, he's trying to like talk, like distract them. I'd like to try to grab that.
Because of the talking, I would give you advantage, but because you're having to physically like wrap your arm around the counter, I would disadvantage, so it bounces out. So just give me a flat sleight of hand, please.
What the crud? That's the second one in a row. Okay, so 8.
Was that a nat 1 you said?
Yes. Yep.
So with a crit fail, he immediately notices your arm, and in a swift motion with his free hand, being his left one, he grabs your arm as it's right across the counter and squeezes tightly and just looks into your eyes. He goes, "I could smell you for a thief the moment you walked in here."
What are you talking about? I was just leaning on the counter.
He pulls up your arm and then walks outside and just yells, "Guards, I got some scum to be removed from my shop." And then these two large armored people just prance up to you And just go, another thief from out of town. And they go like, Miss, you're coming with us. And they grab both your arms.
Is there any way I can attempt to get out of this? Is there a check I can do?
Roll me a strength check. We're going to do opposed strength between the two guards.
Is it... Where did I roll the strength from?
It's just in your ability scores. At the top, where you have like your strength, dex, charisma. Just roll
okay. 14.
Unfortunately, with the combined strength of the two guys, you are not able to break free of their grasp as they feel you start to wriggle, and they immediately realize that you're going to be a bit of a problem for them. So they put your hands behind your back and they manacle them, and just insult to injury to make sure you can't get away. They also tie up your wings, so you are now grounded. As this all happens, though, as the guards then take you away from the jewelry shop, you see a very stout halfling walking up to you in very fine business attire. And he walks up. He also has two guards behind him. And he looks you up and down and notices your manacles and goes, My. Quite the troublemaker now, huh?
You could say that.
He looks over at the guards and is just like, So, what kind of situation do we have here? And they're just like, we caught us stealing from old Jim's jewels. And it was, you must have the eye for the special shinier knickknacks.
Oh, I do love some shiny things, I gotta say.
Huh. Would you say you're skilled at finding these sorts of shiny objects?
I would consider myself very skilled, yes. I seem to be very attracted to shiny objects. You can always find them.
Always, huh?
Mm-hmm. Without fail.
Now that's very interesting to consider. Men, you may leave her be. And they just go, Sir, are you sure? And they just go like, yes, it's fine. And they go like, all right. And they unbuckle your manacles and they loosen up your wings. And the short halfling goes, now that your hands are free. And he sticks out his hand and he goes, Jornie Haldon, Mayor.
Oh, well, it's very nice to meet you. I stretch out my hand to shake his hand. Mina.
All right, and they shake your hand. Oh, Mina, what a fine name, I must say.
Why, thank you.
And
now,
oh no, you go.
How may I help you? Is there any reason that the mayor is, releasing a common thief around here?
Well, I can't say I haven't seen the petty criminal here and there. Obviously, we don't get many here in Villundium because, despite us being one of the 4 elite cities of Divinico, we are very rural and very, very, very low, down to earth, and we all seem to know each other, so it's very rare we see outsiders, but, I kind of expected that with all of the crowds and such gathering from far and wide for the Centennial Festival, I figured we might see a couple missing objects here and there, and he kind of gives you a wink.
Oh yes, that's almost completely unavoidable. Having a couple things just mysteriously disappear.
Of course. And, sometimes it doesn't hurt to have a few certain things disappear. So, if I ever need something gone, or perhaps you need some cover, here, take this. Be sure to message me anytime, or come visit me. And he hands you a business card.
Oh, of course. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, sir. And I do like a salute thing and then grab the card.
All right, you grab the card, and on the front of it says it's again similar to with Joey. It is just a piece of parchment with some scrawled on ink, and it says Jornie Haldon, Mayor of Villundium. And if you flip around the back, it says 2/4.
Oh, very interesting.
And by the time you look up from your business card, you notice he is already waltzing away with now 4 guards in tow. And we're actually going to cut back now to Urgel and Will. The kid has just been pulled off screaming. He was panicking. And both of you actually roll my perception.
Perception.
Not great. 7.
19.
Oh, Jacob's actually rolling good in perception this time. Will definitely does not notice. He's busy counting the riches that he has now acquired.
Right, the silver.
But Urgel, you notice everything that we've just described with Mina actually just happened a good 20 feet in front of you. At a nearby shop, as we've already established as Jim's Jewels, you see this Aarakocra get yanked out by one arm by a massive half-orc and then handed over to 2 guards. And then you see the mayor interact with her and then hand her some kind of card and then begin to waltz away almost in your direction, maybe a little angled, as the kid that you had just gotten pulled away by his mom. Well, you didn't make that happen. But the kid that just got pulled away from his mom, you see him break free and just sprint, and he bumps into the mayor as he stumbles back, as he is, the exact same height as this child. And he just kind of looks around, and he's like tightening his suit, and he looks back to where the kid came from, and he notices Will counting some money, and he notices Urgel now staring him dead in the face. And the mayor looks down at the money you've gotten, and he looks up and still sees some hallucinatory fire on Urgel as it starts to magically poof into existence, into nothingness. As the mayor appears to have this look of surprise, which then morphs into a look of intrigue. As he walks closer, he, does the, come here motion with his hands over to his guards, and he waltzes up to you, and he goes, "Quite the performance there, gentlemen."
Oh, yes. My man Will here, he's one with the magic.
Oh, magic, you say? That's quite the bounty you've achieved there, I must say. You must be quite the magician.
Don't patronize me.
Why would I be patronizing someone who clearly is well established in their craft?
With my friend, because I only got 5 silver from the show.
Well, that's certainly nothing to sneeze at, I would say. Because any payment you receive can then be put back into itself and can make you riches beyond your wildest dreams.
I fucking wish.
Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. We can all have different perspectives. But I promise you I'm not being condescending when I say you certainly have quite the knack for illusions. And you, sir, quite the performance there. I must say,
Thank you.
I truly believed that you were engulfed in flames. Of course, though, and he brings his hand up, and he, twiddles his fingers, and you see a miniature spark fly out from his palm and explode into a little firework in his hand. And as the sparks fly into his hand, you see small seedlings sprout, and they grow from his hand, and then instantly die and wither, and they curl back in his hand, and he closes his hand, and then opens it, and then a small bird flies out. And she goes, "Of course I was not one to be quite as fooled as these other people, but I will say I do enjoy a good bit of entertainment." And
It's got game.
Just
what did you
made
say?
a bird come out of his hand.
This man's got game.
And he looks at you and goes, "Oh, no, you go."
I was like, are you trying to rizz me up?
"Oh, no.
Get some Murgle. It's my boy.
No, sir. I am Arrow Ace. I'm not interested in any kind of relationship like that at all. But I'm sure someone would be very lucky to have such a strong and well-structured man such as yourself."
You're right.
I'm flustered now. And she goes like, well, if you ever want to put those muscles to good use, and I could always use a powerful magic user such as yourself, and he gestures at Will, I could always use a couple of you from time to time, and I'm sure that a little political help wouldn't do bad for your clear game that you have going on here. So if you ever need any assistance, please pay me a visit. And he hands both of you a business card. He actually does it in one hand. He does the move where he flips his hand down, and then he's holding like with two fingers, and then he flicks it, and then it reveals that there's two there, and he fans it out for you two.
I'll take the card.
All right.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Both of your cards, very similar story, say the exact same things. They say Jornie Haldon on the front, and they say Mayor of Villundium, and on the back, for Urgle, it says 3 of 4, and then for Will, it says 4/4. And then he goes, thank you, gentlemen, for your time. And then he's like, I hope you enjoy the festival. And then he just walks away.
As he's out of earshot, I'm gonna go, Urgle, I think you might have been right. I think he was hitting on you.
That's what I'm saying. How could he not have been?
What was the mayor's name again?
Jornie Haldon. That's Jornie, and then Haldon, Haldon.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I saw Joey ask that in our private chat. So I had
I was just adding it as an item on my
yeah, for sure.
character
We
sheet.
got some note takers. What's happening?
You're supposed to take notes?
You don't
You
have
don't
to.
have to.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
don't, I'm not going to be mad. Well, I mean, I'll probably be mad at you specifically, but I won't vocalize it. But just know I'll experience it.
Oh, good. I won't take notes then.
Yeah, good job.
I want you to be in fear.
Yeah, and now it's about evening time, and you all notice. Well, excuse me. Despite being in several different parts of this grand town, you notice all the people seeming to gather in the town square. As it grows darker, you see people start to light lanterns, and they bring them out into the middle of town. Yeah, feel free to do as you wish. You can follow. You can not follow. You can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of sit like outside, like wherever I'm staying at, and just watch from afar.
Okay.
As I just sit down and have a, we'll say I'm having a smoke.
Okay.
Anything you want to do tonight, Urgle?
Is there like a tavern around here?
Probably.
I'd like to drink a little.
Well, I'll come with. I'm sure we can find a nice spot.
Yeah.
We're going to look for a tavern.
Okay. I won't even make a roll for it. You do see a tavern, but you definitely see all the lights inside are off. You actually see a one second, I'm going back to my notes again to remember. You see this very crazed is the best way to say it, very manic looking Earth Genasi who is locking up the door as he's sitting there going. He's got very jagged teeth, and he's got jean overalls because apparently they had those. He's got overalls and a white shirt underneath as he walks out, and he's holding a lantern. But you also see him wheel out a cart from the side of the building as he begins rolling into town, and on the side of it you can clearly see a logo that matches the top of the bar, and it says Crando's Corny Concoctions. And as he rolls the cart along, you hear a lot of bottles jingling and clashing together as he rolls towards the center of town.
Hello, my friend.
Are
you clothing up for the night?
Well, I'm closing up the drinks portion. Obviously, there are some people that want to stay the night right now, but I believe that I'm going to get a ton of business, so I decided to go ahead and wheel out all my business to go take it to the center of town for the grand opening ceremonies. Would you care to come?
Well, what is being opened so grandly?
Why, are you fellas new here in town?
Yes.
Well, it's the Centennial Festival. It has been 100 years since the Great Quake happened and split the land. But now, we're finally 100 years in, and despite all the terror that it initially caused all those years ago, now we're finally into this land of peace, and we're all trying to celebrate and have a good time. So, the Centennial Festival, for us here in Villundium, is going to go the entire year. Oh boy, it's going to be a ton of business from all around the land. But, for the opening ceremonies, it's going to be the mayor, and the mayor's going to come out, and he's going to give some final speeches and some little words that he's going to use to describe this grand event that we're going to have going on here. Have I mentioned how much I like talking? Do you want a drink?
I am good, but my friend here, I'm sure, would love something.
Oh, you big man, you think you're tough? You think you're tough? You think you're tough? You want to get a drink? You want to get something from me? I'm Crando with Crando's Corny Concoctions, and they're all the scariest drinks around. No one can handle my brews.
What is this strongest concoction thing you have?
Oh, you want the Big Mama. He goes,
I want the Big Mama.
he looks at you. And he's like, that's something that... He looks up at you. And for the first time, you notice him, speechless. And then he waves his hand down to get you to... And he's like, come closer here, boy. Bring your head down. He's a very stout genasi, so he's very, kind of hunched over. But he's like, get your head down here, boy.
Okay, what's up?
And he whispers in your ear. He goes... The Big Mama hasn't been ordered in years. Come with me. And then he walks away. And he goes I'm just going to go park my cart over in this alleyway here for no particular reason. And no worries about that. And he just walks into the alley with his cart, pushing it, ricketing along. Yeah. Do you follow him? Or...
I'm going to get this Big Mama.
I say I'm going to follow along.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say you can go too. You're involved here. And then you go into this alleyway. He goes "Hoo-wee, it sure is quite the comfortable alley here. Oh boy, I do love every little bit of it. Man, it's fantastic. I love everything here." Okay. Let me show you something. As you know, Villundium is quite known for its crops and its ergonomical and very, very, very farm-heavy yields, from corns to tomatoes to, pleasantry cornucopias like that. But there is something that we don't publicly sell. And then there's a door on the side of his bar, and then he opens it, and inside you see a dark tavern. There's nothing inside, but you can definitely make out some bottles and things. And he goes "One moment." And then he closes the door, and then he gives a secret knock onto it. And then he opens the door again, and now it is a bustling trading hall inside of this building that was not there before. It is completely different inside now, as the door seems to have magically transformed and teleported to a new location. He goes,
do I memorize the knock that he used?
Roll me perception, see if you could hear it.
I would also like to do the same.
Yeah, sure.
That is a 21.
Oh, wow.
I got a 6.
Okay, Will definitely does not. Maybe he's just so mesmerized by this amazing voice change. But you, Urkel, can definitely notice what did I name him? I already forgot. Crando. You notice Crando. He goes up and he gives a very clear knock knock. Knockety knock knock. Knock. Knock knock knock. And that's what he knocks. And then he goes,
Okay.
"Get in before anyone sees you. There's gonna be people There's gonna be guards crawling all over this place, but we may have one chance to get you in here.
All right, come on, Will.
Yeah, I follow him in.
Is it possible that I see this happen, like at all? And like,
I'm going to roll. Actually, you go ahead and just roll me a straight d20. If you roll a 15 or higher, then I'll say you were close enough and can roll a perception to see if you notice them. But if not, then you are not nearby.
Okay. All right, 4. I'm definitely not nearby.
Yeah, you are like complete other side of the town square, watching in, because they hadn't even made it to the town square yet. They're about to head out. Yeah. So you do not see this.
Figured it's possible that maybe I'm on the same side, but now I'm on the other side.
Jackie, you can go and do the whole thing, that thing too, if you want.
Oh yeah, sure.
Just roll me a d20. I'll make
just a regular d20.
Yeah, I'll make it for you since alleyways are kind of like your thing. Like that's something that's one where you would probably be. I'll make it if you roll a 13 or higher, then you'll be.
Well,
nearby.
I got a 13.
Oh, okay. Yeah, roll me a perception.
Okay. Perception. 16.
Oh wow, yeah, you definitely noticed. You see, you actually noticed them before. As the mayor let you go, you turned around and noticed these people here. You see the same Goliath and other Aarakocra, a little bit different from you as an Aarakocra, definitely. But you notice them being taken by this very crotchety-looking Earth Genasi into an alleyway. And as you peek around, you notice them head into a door and slam it shut behind them.
Ooh. Can I go interact with the door?
Yeah, you can go try to open it.
You try?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to go up to the door and just go like try peek in.
There's no slot. It would have to be like if you're saying like you're gonna like open a crack and look in.
Yeah. Like stealthily go snoop around and just like open it a little bit and peek in.
I'll say. Yeah, I'll say actually you managed to catch the door right as it was starting to close, and you get your talons in there and you peek through, and you notice this discreet. You would recognize this kind of concept as you've seen things like before. This is definitely a black market of some kind that is magically hidden inside of this bar. As this does not look like a single bar at all on the inside.
Oh, can I like open the door like discreetly and try like get in without anyone noticing me?
Yeah, roll me a stealth check.
Okay. 15.
All right. Urgle and Will, go ahead and roll. What's your passive perception?
14.
14.
Okay. And Jackie, you said yours was a 15.
Yeah.
Okay. You both do not notice her. Neither does the old man, and no one else in the stall seemed to notice you. You managed to just kind of stealthily slip into the door before it closes and shut it behind you, and you are hidden for the time being. So yeah, Urgle and Will you're now walking with this crotchety old man who is now like straightened his posture and is kind of like he's definitely a lot more professional about things. He goes like, I apologize for the facade out there. I have to keep the brand alive, you know?
Trust me, my friend, I get it.
I was like, I figured someone of your culture might. And then he takes you all around. And you see like all these people standing around. He goes like, and then Crando brings you around and he says, all right, for the big mama, I needed to bring you here. And he brings you there's a stand that says Crando's Cooler Concoctions. As this little market stall, and he goes around and starts messing with some bottles, and he goes, there's a special ingredient. As I said, crops are the main export of Villundium, but there's something special that we need for the big mama that isn't exactly kosher with most of our normal exports, for there are more crops than just the corns and the pumpkins. And then he slams down a pile of marijuana onto the market stall. He goes like, "We're gonna need to light this mama up." And then he pulls out a very tall glass, slides it to you, and then he says, "Go ahead, and this is just very important for the mama. I hope you'll understand. Spit in that cup for me, please."
Ew. Give that hawk to her.
I knew you were gonna freaking.
I kill him. Mind spike.
I'm not in this scenario, but shut up.
Spit in that cup. You give him the old medieval hawk to him. And you slide the glass back. He goes, "Thank you, sir." And he pulls out some bottles, and he pours in. You see a mix of. Go ahead and actually roll me a perception. See if you notice all the things he pours in there.
Okay.
Do you want me to do this as well or no?
If you want to, you can.
It's an 18.
18. I mean, he'll see all of it with that 18. So if you really want to, you'll.
I got a 16.
Okay, yeah. I'll say you pick up on pretty much all of it too. You notice him crack open a bottle of vodka, and then he pours in some additional, like some rum, and you see him dropping in a bit of fruit juice. He's just like, "This comes freshly picked from the orchards," and he like squeezes in like some orange juice and some pineapple juice and just all these different stuff. He goes like, "Thanks to our magical climate, we are fortunate enough to grow practically any kind of plant you would think of, including the aforementioned," and then he gestures down to the marijuana that he is now putting into a mortar and pestle as he grinds it up into a fine powder, and then he puts it into the glass and stirs it up a bit, and then he also goes ahead and tops it off with just some splashes of other things, like literally any kind of alcohol you could imagine. He puts a little bit of sake, he puts even a little bit of wine, he puts in some mead, he puts in little bits of everything, and then he sticks a little wooden toothpick through a cherry, and then he puts a little bow on top, and then sticks it into the drink, and it starts floating on an ice cube. And then he goes, "Now to give it that finishing bite," he takes some of the powder from the marijuana that was crushed up and left, and he dusts it around the rim like a margarita. And then he hands it to you, and he goes, "And here's the big mama. That will be 5 gold, please."
Okay. When you say people haven't had this in years, do you mean the people in here as well?
No one's been strong enough to handle it yet.
And then as soon as he says that, I announce to everyone in this like black market area, "It's time for the big mama!"
And this is how his character does.
Instantly, everyone turns their heads. You see people slamming these like shutters down and putting up these signs on their markets saying like "closed Big Mama," and you can definitely tell some of them are most of them are doing this out of just sheer excitement and wanting to know what's going on. But you can definitely tell some of them are doing it because when someone yells in a black market, most people just assume it's about cops coming. So they're panicking and hiding under desks, and they're terrified. Then they look up and they see, "Oh, it's the Big Mama," and they go over and they all stand around and they all look at you and they're all chanting and they just go, "Mama, mama, mama." What is Mina doing during all of this?
So there's a whole bunch of different shops, right?
Yes.
What's sort of at them? Like,
well, currently everyone is gone, but you can definitely see a few that seem to be selling different products that involve marijuana. But you also see a multitude of some weaponry shops that you wouldn't see up. Most of the quote-unquote weapons shops you would see in base Villundium are more hunting focused, like traps and baits and things like that. But you can tell these are definitely like conflict battle weapons that you can find, as well as some mysterious potions that are sitting around and various different things going around.
and everybody's distracted and right.
Yes.
Right. Can I go deal a potion?
Yeah, you go to a potion counter and you see 4 bottles. You see a yellow one, a red one, a blue one, and a pink one. Roll me a sleight of hand with advantage if you want to take one.
Okay. 25 and... Okay, so 25 is the highest, and I'll take the pink one.
All right, yeah, you snag the pink one. No one around to stop you from doing this, and just thump, and you're the pink one.
And I kind of disappear back into shadows. I'm watching the whole Big Mama ordeal go down just from the background a little bit.
All right, yeah. I'll say with your... Go ahead and roll me a new stealth check, because your stealth check before was okay, but not, great. So yeah, go ahead and roll me a new stealth check.
15.
All right. Actually, this is the same as last time, isn't it? Yeah. You managed to skulk into the crowd. It's very easy to hide amongst these people. Yeah, you managed to fit in there. Do you want to know what this? Do you want to try to figure out what this potion is?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Fine by me.
I'll leave it up to luck. What's the worst that could happen? It kills me
What's the worst that could
instantaneously.
happen?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, you're just watching from a distance. And now, Urgle, all the attention is on you. Crando has, as he's passed over the drink, you actually notice him. He leans back against the back of his stall, crosses his arms. He pulls out a joint, and he freshly rolled, and starts smoking it. And he just stares at you, and he goes, "Go on, boy." Oh, by the way, did you already hand him the 5 gold?
Yes.
Okay, so he's like kind of counting the money, and then he pockets it and goes, "Go on, boy. Let's see what you got. See if you can handle the mama."
I'm gonna take the biggest drink I can.
All right. Roll me a Constitution saving throw. And because of how powerful this thing is, I know you have good Constitution. Before you roll it, you're aiming for a 25.
Oh
Oh
my.
my god.
Is your goal.
You got this, buddy.
Okay, so okay. All right. I
Come
got
on, my
this.
friend. You got this.
Come on. Not hard of the cards. It's hard of the dice. That's a 25. Oh, God. I rolled a 19. So yeah, plus 6.
No.
Let's go.
Yeah, if anyone
You-
do it, it's him.
That's true. That's true.
Let's fucking
You
go.
Take the biggest swig of the Big Mama. And keep in mind, this glass is... How tall would you... Sorry, my throat. How tall would you say your torso is?
My torso would probably be like...
Do you think it's like the biggest
God.
part of your body?
I'd probably say it's like even with that and my legs.
Okay.
Because Urgle is like 8 feet tall.
Yeah. So you'd say what? It's about 3.5 feet?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, about 3.5 feet, yeah. So about 3.5 feet. This glass is about as tall as your torso.
Oh,
Probably about half, I guess we would say. About 3.5, about... It is a very tall glass. It's like at least over a foot. And you down half of it. Maybe more. No one can really tell, because all they're staring at is this giant hulking man chugging a just mass of brown gurgling liquid of all these different alcohols, probably endued with some kind of magical effect. Most definitely imbued with some kind of magical effect, as they're noticing your eyes start to grow more and more bloodshot the more that you consume, and they notice all the powder like just kind of dripping down your face with this brown sludgy liquid, which is somehow both liquid and solid at the same time. As it plops down, as you feel it slide down your gullet, you take a massive swallow and slam the glass down. Well, not finished, but definitely still a massive feat. And you look up at everyone, and what do you say? That's awesome for the recording because you screamed so loud. All I heard was, So I'm going to assume you're saying mama.
He's so drunk after the half drink, like drinking half of it.
Yep.
Oh,
Cool.
mama.
Yeah, you do this. Yeah, you chuck it down, and instantly, Crando just looks at you, and is just in shock. You see the joint fall out of his mouth and just land on the ground, in just terror at the sight of you, and then he just looks you up and down. He's just like, "Who are you?" And all of the crowd has fallen silent.
I'm Urgle.
And then at this moment, the doors kick down, and a bunch of guards storm into the building with weapons drawn, pointing at everyone, going, "Nobody move! All illegal activity here will be shut down post-haste."
How many guards?
I'd say like 6.
As soon as I see him bust the door down, I grab like the glass just in case.
with
That's what you.
with half the mama left in it still.
Are you kidding? Of all the things to do, you secure your pee.
All right,
Is there another exit?
you secure the what's left of the big mama in that glass, and everyone immediately just goes, "Hit the deck!" And everyone starts scattering and running in every direction, panicked, arms flailing, not knowing what
I would
to do.
like to step forward in front of the guards and be like, "My friends, you do not know who you mess with."
Oh no.
The conqueror of the Big Mama.
He
And
conquered
this
the
is
Big
how
Mama.
Will,
And
Urgle,
I
and Mina all died. And then we
am
did
a
a solo
god.
campaign with just Bill. Or Bart, sorry.
Alright, I'm not.
My brain, I mixed Bart and Will.
As I say, I am a god. I'm going to cast Mind Spike, and I'm going to twin the spell to target 2 of them.
Mind Spike. Could you give me the description?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I need a Wisdom saving throw from both guards.
Alright. I will do that for you post haste, sir.
I also need to roll to see if my thing goes off. It does not, but the counter goes up.
Dun dun dun.
They rolled a 12.
They both fail, so they will take 3d8 psychic damage.
Alright.
Oh shit.
That is a lot of What level spell is this?
2. That is. I grabbed the
So
wrong
you know
dice.
what you have to do, though, right?
Yeah, I already rolled.
Oh, you did? Okay. You rolled
Yeah.
a level 1.
Yep.
Good job.
It did not go off.
Alright, sick. You coerce this magic burst into their brains, and you feel this kind of dark energy
20
rising.
damage to both of them.
They're both dead. They just...
I would like to turn to the 4 that are left and be like, "Trust me, my friends, it would best you leave now."
Roll me intimidation, I guess.
Okay, I'm decent at those.
If you can believe it, I'm rolling terrible.
Ooh. 16.
They rolled a 17. I actually rolled good that time. Yeah, they shake off your intimidation. They just go like, "You think we're hardened by that? We were instructed in our education to become guards. Never fear anyone." And they just like.
Can I see
put the
like
weapons
an
to you.
opening where they came in?
Yeah, they busted in through the same door that you all huddled in from, which is at this point about 60 feet away, but it is now currently open.
Can I... Wait, hold on. Let me check my movement speed real quick. I want to try something. Okay. Can I grab Will and, like, use, like, a dash and try to just, like, run through them to get outside?
Sure.
Yeah, there's only 4 left. I killed 2 of them.
Roll
Yeah.
me. Let's say athletics. Roll me athletics.
Athletics. Okay, that's easy shit. That is a 26.
Cool. Yeah, you
That's
for,
my
you for
boy.
sure do. You for sure pick him up, glass of the Big Mama in one hand and Will in the other, and you start sprinting off, and you see one of the people in the market, like, who's being taken into custody by one of the guards. You see her scream, he's like, "How did you even find out about this place?" And they're like, "We saw some dark figure heading through this door, and we knew there had to be shifty activity through here. And thankfully for us, the door actually managed to be left open a crack."
Well, I wonder who did that.
So what is Mina doing here?
Can I try to follow behind Urgel after he charged, like past him, just
Yeah. And
swiftly get out?
swiftly, are you doing this stealthily again, like attempting not to be seen?
Yeah, let's get stealthily.
Then roll me a stealth check. Do that stealthy rogue thing that you do.
18.
You for sure. You just,
Yes.
perfectly mirror. You are Urgel's shadow. He is a giant man. It's very easy
see
to
her
hide
at all?
in the shadow. You could roll me a perception if you're actively just looking around things.
Oh yeah, I'm making sure like the guards aren't following us. I didn't know if
So
I'd see
you
her
definitely
while
get
looking.
you could roll a perception on this.
Oh yeah, I don't see her. I rolled a 3, so I think it's +4.
Yeah, you don't see her.
But, yeah.
I'm in like a drunken focus, just trying to get out of this place.
And I will cut a little bit here. Bart, you standing here, you're waiting. You hear, I'll just say you hear some murmuring as you're observing the crowd. You hear some people going like, "Where's the mayor? Have you guys seen the mayor? Where's Mr. Haldon? Where is he at this time?" And you can also notice a bunch of guards that seem to be storming off towards the other side of the town square. And
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely.
So I'm gonna go up to the people who were murmuring, and I say, "Hey, you say you don't know what Mary is?"
And they go, "No, we have no idea what's going. We thought we would have heard something. We were told he was going to be giving the speeches for the opening ceremonies, and at this point, like 30 minutes ago, we have no idea where he is."
Okay. I got one of the business cards. I'll go check out his place. See what's going on.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
I'll report back.
Thank you, sir. Oh, do you know the mayor personally?
I know he just gave me a business card. He met me earlier today, and it's got a very interesting card, so I want to check it out. So
Business card? I don't think he's ever done that before. But if he did to you, he
Wait.
must really like you.
that's weird. It's got a weird thing in the back, like 1 of 4. It's like either time signature or like there's something related to 4 things. Maybe he's got 4 of them. I don't know.
Maybe
Well,
4 people.
Well, unfortunately, I'm severely uneducated as I am just a simple farm person, so I have no idea what numbers are. But you know what? You seem to really know what you're doing here. So go find the mayor.
Okay.
It's a horrible
cool.
mayor. They don't have an education system.
Great, bro. Well then, go. Okay, I leave. I go to the mayor's place.
Okay, you go to the mayor. You have the address, so it works out fine. You get
Yep.
to the office, and much like every other business, it is very dark. All of the doors are shut. It's very dark inside. You do see a couple guards stationed outside of it, but as you approach, you see a couple of other guards pass by, and they go up to them. They whisper something, and they clink their swords against their helmets, and then they run off in one direction.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna knock on the door to the mayor's place.
All right. You get no answer.
Okay. I'm gonna try to sneak in.
All right. Roll me. The door is locked, so if you want to. You don't have thieves'
Okay.
tools, do you?
Let me see.
I don't think you do. I know in session 0 you guys did some lockpicking. I think it was Mina, because I think she has the thieves' tools. I don't know if you do.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She's a rogue.
I have them.
Okay,
rogue
no,
has
I don't.
thief
Okay.
tools.
So
No,
I
this is
noticed
for
that's
details.
locked.
Mhm.
Would I be able to do anything with a dagger? Like maybe go on full paperclip style.
Yes, I would say give me a sleight of hand with disadvantage to try and do this.
Okay. All right, 15 and 10.
Unfortunately, with a 10, you start wiggling your dagger around in there, and unfortunately, just doesn't seem to budge. Fortunately, you didn't roll low enough to break the lock off, and thus alert that someone has tried to break in. But you definitely do not get it unlocked, and you're still stuck on the side of the door.
All right. Well, okay. I'm gonna see if there's a back door.
Yeah. Roll me investigation.
Okay, 9.
It's hard to see a door. You get around to the back and you find a door that's just kind of sitting there. Your average back door looking.
I'm gonna try to open that door.
All right, it is locked.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the quality of the lock.
This one is definitely a lower quality.
Okay,
than
I'm gonna
the
try to use
first
the dagger again.
All right, roll me sleight of hand, disadvantage.
Okay. 14. 6. Come on.
Same story as the first one. Literally the same story.
Okay.
You don't break the lock. Your dagger is fine.
Yeah,
But you don't
alright.
open the lock.
All right. At this point, I'm just gonna give up, and I'm gonna go follow the direction of the guards.
Okay, yeah, you easily do that. At this point, they have completely run off, so there's no need to like really stealth your way around. But yeah, you manage, and right as you approach, you see them bust into this door on the side of a bar. In fact, it's actually the tavern that you've been put up in as one of the musical acts.
Huh.
Being,
So I take notes of that.
being of course, as you would remember, is Crando's Corny Concoctions.
Yep.
So you show up and you see them all go into this door, and they leave it wide open.
Okay, I'm gonna stay outside and watch from the outside. See what's happening.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. You peek in and immediately roll me a dex saving throw.
17.
You peek in, and the first thing that you see, a mere like 5 feet away from you, is a stampeding Goliath with an Aarakocra in its arms and a tall glass in the other, as he's stampeding in your direction, and he just sprints at you, but you manage to nimbly duck out of the way as he crashes out of the building and lands flat in his stomach. How was Mina hiding? Was she moving with them, or was she like clinging to his back?
I assume just moving with, not clinging.
Okay.
I assume that would be
So
somewhat alert to.
you definitely notice him like fall forward, and you I guess kind of just like jump up on his back or something, or like kind of find another way around. But as you are now all four for the first time standing within each other's vicinity, looking around, and immediately all four of you roll me a perception.
11.
Ooh, 22.
6.
Oh, and I have a
Nina?
question.
Yeah, what's it?
Oh, sorry.
Can I say that like whenever I went to go run, I used like a rage?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
In that case, you wouldn't have been able to fit through the door. You would have just busted through the wall.
I mean, that's fine with me.
Well,
Okay, well,
that would change the story because I was peeking through the door.
yeah, but you still able to dodge out of the way. He busts through the door frame, leaving a giant
Well, the doors
Urgle-sized
were open.
impression. Yeah, it's open, but he breaks through the frame of it. But you still manage to dodge out of the way.
Okay, got it.
Well, that's the Mina. What'd you get in your perception?
6.
Okay. In that case, if we're gonna do like you busted the door, go ahead, Urgle, and roll me an Arcana.
Arcana.
What's up?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Come on. +2 for this. Let's go. That is a 16.
Okay, yeah. You, as soon as you smash through the door frame, you feel this magical disbursement, just like as if there was a strong magical presence here that just poofs in this giant shockwave as you feel it kind of ripple your, I guess, magical senses. As you have now realized that you have broken this illusionary spell that was hiding the this den, this underground black market, and you crash through. So remind me again of perceptions.
22.
11.
6.
I think Joey said he also got a 6. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I got 6.
Okay. So only Will is the only person who notices this. As Urgle comes crashing through the door frame and lands on his stomach, still glass in hand saving it, and still you holding you up above his head just to make sure you don't get hit. You notice a glowing in your pocket, as like this yellow pulse that seems to just be.
I'd like to see what that is.
You pick it up and it's the business card, and you notice
anything.
You notice this. Sorry, you notice this yellow pulsing coming from each of the other individuals that you are now encountering as well.
Yeah, I don't care that much about that. Are the guards following us?
Yes, they are. They are stampeding your direction. And
with a 22, do I see Miwa?
Mina?
Or
yes.
Mina?
Yeah, I would say yes. You see Mina.
I'm gonna cast Hold Person on her.
What does that do?
Okay.
I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw.
You do need
from the top row?
No, so
no,
if you look
here
on the left, you'll see like your saving throw specifically.
Yes.
Use your wisdom thing there. Which, I mean, it's the same as your normal wisdom since you're a rogue and you don't have proficiency in it, but still, that's where you would look for your saving throws.
Okay.
Does mean I need to roll again. I succeed.
Oh.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, that's not a cantrip, so...
Alright,
Isn't it also a level
so you
2
failed.
spell?
Yes. Which means it goes up by 2.
Alright. So now what number do you have to roll higher then?
6.
Wait, maybe
I kept the one from the session 0. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Alright, but you failed. So you are paralyzed. And are frozen in your spot. So I'm gonna be like, be a dear, please, and explain to the guards what happened.
I'm sure she'd love to.
Bro, what's
But
going
someone
on?
clearly does not know the other effects of being paralyzed from Hold Person.
How?
You can't speak.
Oh, I'm aware. I don't care if they're gonna wait,
All right.
or at least take her with them.
What does Mina say here upon hearing that?
Nothing. She's paralyzed.
Yeah.
Well, what does she try to say at least?
Well, I tried to say that. Obviously, I was just trying to go figure out what was going on so I could alert the guards. Yep.
That's what they hear.
Urgle, get us out of here.
I
Dude,
try to like
what is
I try
happening?
to like hide in the alleys.
We're running from the cops. I left Miwa behind to deal with those.
Okay, I'm gonna stay with Mina because I don't know what's going on. So I would my inaction.
Mina's about
is
to
my
get
action.
arrested. Is what's gonna happen.
This is the second time this has happened.
As you're discussing this and the guards are charging, the guards immediately like skid in their tracks, and they look at all of you and they go, "Wait, do you all have?" No, he didn't. He wouldn't choose. They start whispering. All 4 of you roll me another perception.
Are Earl and I still there? Or are we still running?
I'll
I
say
thought we were
you're
still
still. I'll
running.
say you're still here for
Oh.
this. I'll say you're here for to like try and notice this. Also, your perception, Jacob, will carry over because it was good.
Oh, okay, cool.
18.
18.
4.
4. And Joey?
8.
8. Okay. Only Jacob, Urgle picks up on this one, and Will. You hear them whisper to each other. They go like, "There's no way the mayor would pick There's no way he would pick these criminals, right? And who's that guy over there who's that guy, that human over there?" And they're kind of discussing, like, he wouldn't dare. And then at this moment, as you both turn tail and start to run, instantly your path is blocked by... Can you guess who?
The mayor.
That's not right. It's actually just a random guy who's just standing there. And you just go,
Run him over,
What are
Urgle.
you doing? And then you run him over, and then behind him is the mayor.
Run the mayor over to Urgo. Get us out of here.
And he goes, wait. I see that you have already partaken in...
Oh, isn't it?
I see that you have already partaken in some forms of illegal activity.
I clenched the big mama.
I like that. Oh, no need to hide it from me. I am perfectly okay with all this. And he like shoos the guards.
I do not trust this guy.
He shoos the guards away
Wow.
and looks at you and goes, "It seems that all of you have finally met. Would you be a dear and show me those business cards you've received?"
I'm
I
like
don't
still
even-
drunk, so I'm just gonna like try and find it somewhere.
You're not drunk because you roll well in Constitution.
Would I be hearing this? Because I'm under
shit,
the
I'm
impression
not.
that
Okay,
that
sweet.
Mayor's further away from what I'm hearing.
No, he's like right next to you guys. Like as soon as they
Okay.
turned and started to
'cause he
run,
said he
he was
was-
just there.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah,
Oh.
Jacob, the point
I don't
of
even know any of these guys. I've just been
the
minding my
point
business,
of like
and all of
when
a sudden,
you drink alcohol in D&D and then roll a con saving throw, it's to see if you would be drunk or not.
Okay.
So because you rolled,
Oh.
you beat the DC on a very powerful drink, you are not drunk.
Hell yeah.
You were just like, ooh.
okay, yeah, I pull
Tastes
out my card.
Ooh, tastes good.
Bro, why is it
you-
in 1-4?
I'll say you notice, you notice, you look, it's like pulsing this yellow glow. The card is now illuminated, pulsing with this magic. And if you turn around, you see the 1-4. The 1-4 is now also illuminated in a magenta font that is bright and neon glowing.
Bro, the same
Giant.
my signature.
Am I still paralyzed?
Yeah.
I'll say he's holding his concentration up so he can. And then you see as Jornie goes, "Oh, of course, I should have expected a bit of roughhousing from differing views here." And then he waves his hand and whispers a little incantation, and you feel this energy that is holding you in place just dispel into nothingness as you are now freed of your paralysis.
Huh. Thank you so much,
Dude,
Mr.
bro is-
Mayor.
Bro is
I-
playing God right now. Like, what is up, Mr. Mayor? Who are you?
Can I go up and slap Will in the face?
Yeah, roll me an unarmed strike.
Oh, what?
An unarmed strike. So that'll be in your actions. You'll see
Okay.
unarmed strike for you because you are an Aarakocra. You can choose because I didn't realize you could choose. I thought it was just base set, but I guess maybe it's a new thing. You can choose if you want to slap just like basic whatever hit, and it'll just you roll the hit, and if you hit, it does a flat 2 damage. Or you could decide to actually use your talons as like a swipe kind of slap, and then you'll actually roll damage for that.
Which one will do the least amount of damage? I don't want to actually like.
You can also just
the-
do no damage if you just want to
if
roleplay.
you just want to
Yeah.
roleplay, you slap.
That's
yeah.
fine. Yeah, I'll just go up and slap him without doing
Okay.
damage. So I would rather not like
Then roll the roll to hit on an armor strike. It's like the button for you. It should say +3 next to where it says unarmed
Okay.
strike.
Yeah. 11.
I
That
think
does not
I'll
hit.
say that yeah. You
Sorry.
go to slap and just kind of whiff past
What?
Will's face.
Hey, we're all friends here.
Yeah,
No need for
says
that
you
violence.
We're not. Who
paralyzed
are you
me.
guys?
You are so rude. And I just turn
Hey, you
around
were
and pull out
following
the
us.
card. I was trying to sneak out away from the guards.
And
Simple
we
as
were
that.
trying to do the same. You just happened to do it worse than we did.
I did it just fine, thank you, until you had to go and paralyze me.
I did no
Can't
such
believe
thing.
you.
Roll a deception.
Blah 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 blah. We gotta talk. Why are you guys talking about
19
Mr. Mayor guy?
plus 6, 25.
Okay,
What?
something tells
Blah, blah,
me
blah.
that with Jackie's that wasn't a crit, was it? Was it 19? You said 19 plus 5.
Yeah,
All right,
plus 6
so-
for a 25.
Okay. Jackie, go ahead and roll me an insight. The only
Okay.
way you're gonna succeed on this is if you crit.
Yeah, well, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Whatever.
14.
Cool. It doesn't matter for Jacob because obviously you paralyzed her, but she doesn't believe that it was you. She believes she
Fine.
was paralyzed by someone else.
I'm telling the truth. What can I say?
But maybe I was wrong. I apologize. And I turn around, I pull out the card.
Thank
we're
you.
supposed-
Yeah.
Be careful throwing around random accusations like that. You can get someone in a lot of trouble.
Well, I like a little bit of trouble now.
You.
Are we supposed to...
Yeah, you pull out the card. You said.
Yeah. Are we supposed to hand it to the mayor? Is that what we were doing?
No, he just says let me just hold them out. You pull it out and it's the same thing. It is pulsating yellow and your 2/4 on the back, specifically. Well, the whole thing is kind of pulsating. It's glowing this bright neon magenta. You can definitely tell that the 2 is more. It's more intense than the 4. Yeah. Does anyone else pull out their cards?
Yeah, I'll pull out ours.
Same exact story, but for your 3 and your 4.
I roll perception to see if I notice the other card numbers.
Yeah, roll me perception.
Great, 1. I know nothing. I've been getting terrible perception rolls.
You can barely even tell your own
3.
card is blinking, let alone everyone else's. You can't even
Yeah.
tell what no. You can't
I had already
tell-
noticed it since I.
Wait, what was your number on your card? You can't remember.
How did I forget? I literally have my card on me.
The...
It look. Oh, wait a minute. I have my card's gone.
No, it's still there. And the mayor looks at all, he goes, as you may have noticed at this point, I might need something from all of you. And perhaps maybe all of you need something from me.
Doubt it.
Well, I wouldn't jump to those conclusions just yet, my friend. Clifton,
More drinks
right?
like
Okay.
this.
Or, you said I could call you Bart, correct?
Yeah, Bart's cool.
I was like, well, it appears to me that we might be in a bit of trouble with this Centennial Celebration.
Trouble, my
And
friend.
I've heard
What?
the Centennial Celebration.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Roll a
Is that this whole like big party that's going on?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna
okay.
say roll a
All right, cool.
deception.
I've never heard of it. I'm playing in it.
I'm in it. He looks at you, he goes, well, I've heard some rumors going around about some trouble happening all across Divinico, and especially some trouble starting to brew here in here in Villundium. But and I must say I could use some help, I guess. My guards here are certainly well talented, but none have managed to find the Black Market Bazaar until now. You four, I
But-
sensed a great potential in all
Really?
of you.
We didn't even try. We
feel like
asked for
plot
a
armor.
drink and they just took 2 random strangers there.
Well,
I'm
Well,
just
they
like
just-
basically.
they're a
Oh,
little
God.
more.
Oh,
They're a little
I do
more
something else. I'm not
trusting.
telling you yet.
They must
I'm
be a little
cool.
more trusting of townspeople as opposed to armored guards, which I suppose
We're not even
makes sense.
townspeople. We're not even from here.
Maybe that's part of the reason they knew you wouldn't go around snitching. But I sensed a great potential in all 4 of you, and I believe that the 4 of you might be of some great use in stopping this terrible tragedy that I've heard will be falling upon all of us very soon. But for now,
Where have you heard this?
my guards have been informed of some threats upon specifically my life. And I could use some great
Oh,
protectors.
okay. Yeah, you're a mayor. Everyone's gonna kill you. That's just how it is.
In addition, I have not only heard some threats on my life, but also threats on the celebration. And weirdly enough, I still have
I mean,
no
I can't
idea
play,
how
so-
they would.
Never mind.
Manif-
You can help me.
I have no idea how they would manifest such a reality, but I've heard threats on Divinico itself. I have no idea what these could just be baseless accusations, but I'm not a man who doesn't like to play it safe. And he goes, I would like to let's say, employ the four of you into a secret defense team, if you will. And if you will so accept, hence why I gave you the business cards, and as you may notice the numbers, I believe that you might be exactly the people I've been searching for. So, you don't have to tell me right now.
I don't know where I am.
You don't have to tell me right now if you're interested or not. I would suggest you take the offer. Definitely take into consideration at least, but I would definitely suggest that you take me up on it. But for now, I would be most definitely pleased if you would join me in returning to the town square, as I believe the people need some opening ceremonies here. And he turns around and starts walking away.
All right. What do we think of this Mr. Mayor guy?
I like him.
I do
Seems
not trust
very
him
nice.
at all. He wants a personal hit squad to use against anything he deems a threat.
Well, there's nothing
Sounds
wrong
like
with that.
fun.
Ergo, no,
Yeah,
we
I'm on
talked
the
about
sounds
this.
like-
Just because someone wants you to kill something doesn't mean you should.
Oh, okay.
No, but killing's so fun.
Nah, I'm gonna do that. I gotta train for whenever I get back to where I'm from, because I don't even know where I am right now. I know we're in this place that he just called, whatever the name is, but I don't know how I got here. So I need to figure it out. So this will hopefully help me.
Are you drunk?
Yeah, no,
I'm about
I've
to
only
be.
been here for like a week.
Uh
Oh, wait,
huh.
who are you talking to?
I was talking to you now. Talking.
Okay, yeah, no, I've just like, I don't think I'm in the right place. I don't know if it. I've only been here a week, so.
Mm. Mm.
Don't know how I
Okay.
got here, so
Okay.
I need answers.
No, definitely understand.
All right,
Definitely.
I'm gonna start walking to the big area that
Yeah.
where the start of the celebration is.
I follow behind as well. Behind the mayor and Bart.
Okay. You two head off. What are Will and Urkel doing here?
I'm gonna talk to Ergo real quick. My friend, if you think we should go assist this mayor, I will follow your lead, but I don't trust him.
I say we go, but keep our guards up.
Sounds good, my friend.
We start walking, I guess.
All right, yeah.
Yo.
All of you follow
gonna-
the... Oh, we're
I'm
gonna...
gonna attempt to drink the second half of the Big Mama.
All right. I'm gonna need another Constitution saving throw. Same DC.
No, no.
That's a nat 20, baby.
Of course it is.
No
This guy.
way!
What's a crush?
This guy.
You down it. You down it, and then you smash the glass against your head. Flakes of of cannabis flying everywhere, and then you just take a giant swallow, and then you literally do like a
I'm gonna take
light
perception
work,
on
no
the
reaction.
on the cannabis.
Sure. Are you looking for anything in specific?
Just no. Okay, I don't hit. I got a 7, so I just noticed that it was a drink.
You notice some
something.
flakes, but you're not sure. You assume, oh, it must have been some kind of strong margarita. Might be like salt or something. Yeah. You
Yeah.
all head off. Now, empowered by this big mama. This Bubba's very special. And there is an effect of downing the big mama successfully. On your next 3 wisdom-related skill checks or saving throws, you will have advantage.
Sweet.
As the weed has opened your senses, and you are now open to the world around you, and you can feel the cosmos. So yeah, you follow the man. You follow the mayor. He takes you back to the middle of town square, and immediately everyone in the crowd is erupting with cheer. It's like, yeah, let's go, Mayor Haldon, 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 Haldon. And then he gestures you to sit more towards the front of the stage that he is walking up to, but he doesn't let you on the stage. Some guards kind of block your way. He walks up the steps, get to the middle of the stage, and then goes out and just goes, Well, I must say this is quite the turnout for the opening ceremonies. I apologize greatly for my tardiness, my fellow citizens, but I had some urgent matters to deal with, and I assure you it was all for the safety and well-being of you all. Bless you.
Thank you.
He waves his hand, and then a handkerchief floats down to you.
I take the handkerchief.
And he goes, well, I would like to thank you all for attending today's...
My bad, continue.
I'd like to thank you all for attending these opening ceremonies. I know it is much darker than we intended on originally doing these, but, you know, who doesn't like a good evening show? And then he throws his hands up, and then you see some expelling from his hands, but definitely some expelling from people behind him. These fireworks that go into the sky and boom and explode, and you see them spelling out like 100 and Divinico and Villundium, long live. And they're all chanting and chanting. And then he looks around, and then he looks at all the people and he just goes, but this is a grand, not only day, but grand year. As you all know, 100 years ago, the Great Quake split Divinico. Obviously, it wasn't necessarily called that back then, but we call it that now, and I think Divinico, despite being separate, we've never felt closer. Wouldn't you all agree? And they all start cheering loudly, and like the Great Quake crippled our land initially, but we learned to adapt. And here we are 100 years later, proving to Mother Nature that we are stronger, we are resilient, and that despite our separation, we work stronger together, and we will be one. And everyone starts yelling and screaming. And he's just like, but there's some things that we're here to celebrate. First of all, and I think most importantly that we're all looking forward to at this moment in time, is the first fairies are leaving dock later tomorrow. As he gestures to the dock down by the lake, as you can notice several bridges and wood planks that are in the water standing next to large wooden vessels. And he just charts them. And all of these ships will soon be leaving for Montedius, our central capital of Divinico, standing high above the raging waters of the lake. It stands as a testament to our unity together. Despite this water separating us, we are one. And the first fairies leaving there for the special celebration will be leaving soon. As I'm sure all of you know, at the end of this year will be a 1-week massive party and celebration. If you think the year-long celebration here in Villundium would be special, well, I must say, nothing will be more exhilarating than that week in Montedius at the end of the year. For people from all across Divinico will gather, and they will party and feast and drink and be merry, and we will celebrate the unity of our people. Can I get a cheer, please? And everyone starts going like, yeah! Yeah! They're just screaming, and it's very intense. Is there anything you guys do in reaction to this?
I'm just kind of like, because I don't really understand all of this, what he's saying.
I cheer with the crowd.
Okay.
I stand up and just, yeah!
Yep. Cool. And everyone's screaming, and he goes, but I think it's time that we stop dilly-dallying and kick off our first major celebration. It'll be starting in the morning, but I would like to hereby say that the grand tournament has officially begun. As he raises his hands and fireworks go off, and he goes, now as you may know from the flyers that have been all across the city, we will be holding a tournament in which you will group up into groupings of 4, and then you will all 4 battle against each other in a bracket, and whoever comes out on top will get a special meeting with me and become my grand champions for the party, and will sit at my side during the feast in the next coming weeks. So I hope that you will all participate and you will all have fun. And then he raises his hands and goes, while we all miss Uniparus, our old way of life, but I know that Divinico, now 100 years old, will prove to be just something special. And let the tournament begin. And he raises his hands, and the fireworks go off, and everyone starts screaming. And yeah, that's the end of that.
Tournament? What's that? Never heard of this. Great response, guys.
I was like, oh, are they gonna roleplay? And then they did.
I have no idea.
Bro,
This is the first time hearing about it.
I'm always down to fight, especially when it's
Yeah,
legal.
let's do it. Us 4.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right, we gotta walk up to Mr. Mayor and say, "Hey, we want it. We're in."
He goes down the steps and he sees you and goes, "Oh, I mean, I figured you would." And he leans in and he goes, "Let's consider this an official first test of your employment." And he gives you a wink. And he goes, "I'm sure you all are wanting to get back to your accommodations. And please, I know Mr. Clifton, Bart, of course, here, has already received his room and has been here for a small while, but I have already established for the rest of you to also stay at Crando's. So feel free to go there."
Okay.
I guess
I
we
guess
go
we walk
there.
down to Crandos. Yep.
Yeah, you do that. I'm probably gonna cut this out. I am looking for something I distinctly remember writing in my notes of like something. Oh wait, no, I found it. Okay. As literally as I said, where is it? I found it. Yeah. So as
Good job.
I know I'm so good at this DMing thing. As you are walking away, and the mayor gives you a playful wink and then pushes you in that direction. You see a bunch of people start to crowd around him. Some guards stop him, and then as he's like waving them off, he was like, "Well, I hope all of you will participate." He's talking to the people, not necessarily you guys, but he was like, "I hope all of you will participate in the tournament. I look forward to seeing the results, and not much else I can say except a classic Praeter non fracti." And then everyone else goes, "Praeter non fracti," and they all disperse. And then he walks back. Yeah, cool.
They are hyper in this
To
town.
us?
Gosh.
And then you go to the inn, to Crando's.
Ooh,
When you get there,
Crandos.
all of you roll me a perception.
Okay.
All right, come on.
That is a
Okay,
7.
finally, something good. 15.
I got a
Yeah,
10.
I didn't get anything higher than 10 for like 5 rolls in a row on perception. Just perception. I've been good at everything else.
So 15, 10, what else we got?
I got a 7.
All right. Mina.
Oh, I had gone 15.
All right. So
We keep on the same number.
I'll say you guys have been rolling really
Yeah.
similar. So 15, 15, 7, 10. I'll say everyone but Urgle. I'll say even Will notices this because it's pretty obvious. You look up at the sign that it now has all the lanterns have been returned, so everything is starting to light up again as businesses are reopening for the night shifts. You see a giant red paint smear Xing out Crando's corny concoctions, and you see written underneath it, it says like, position open for manager. As you go in, and you see a guard standing behind the bar, and he goes, "Oh, you're the ones the mayor sent, huh? Well, as you might have been informed at this point, Crando has been... He's on a sabbatical from his work right now, and will not be back for quite some time, so we're looking for a new owner of this inn. But until we find them, you are still free to stay here, as you have already been paid, as your room has already been covered.
Why was
Alright, cool.
this friend of yours put on sabbatical?
Well, I can assure you he's no friend of mine. That scoundrel got what he had coming to him. Finally getting adjusted.
Which was?
He immediately stammers as he's like kind of looking off, thinking to himself. He like looks back and goes, By that I mean he got his well-deserved break. He's just been working so hard.
Inside check.
I'm happy he's finally.
I got an
taken a
8.
break.
I believe you.
Yeah, as far as you know, he's being truthful. And he goes,
Do I roll it? Do I roll insight?
Yeah, if anyone else wants to roll insight, you can.
Yeah.
3.
What do I have to do to
God,
become
that
a
one.
fan of this place?
Bro, I totally believe him.
This guy's a real.
Dude.
You think this guy's awesome,
Very
and
honest man. I like that out of you, sir.
I
Joey,
love this guy. He
you
gets
specifically
it.
believe that this guy can never tell a lie.
Alright, this guy knows it. This guy knows what's up.
Exactly. See, this my friend here understands.
I got a 13.
You sense that maybe he's not being entirely truthful. You are very confused as to why your now colleagues are being so trusting of this guy, but you with your thievery knowledge and your tendency to not trust people right away is kind of setting off some red flags. You're like, maybe he's not telling the truth about where Crando is. But he gestures to a staircase to his left, and he goes, "Please, you may go up to your rooms. There should be 2 on the right and 2 on the left for the 4 of you to stay in. And if you are wanting breakfast in the morning, I believe we'll have something being shipped in. We do for all of the musical and performing acts, so I believe Mr. Clifton here would already be receiving that treatment, but the rest of you have already received that level of status, so I suppose it would only be fair to also provide you with room and board."
Oh,
Sweet.
I'll just take the room. I'm assuming one of those rooms I've already been in, so I'll just take that one.
You can go back to your room.
Yeah.
And then there's other rooms for everyone else.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Go
And
on,
then
so
I
give me
just
time.
head back up and go into one of the rooms.
Oh, okay. So is everyone taking their own room?
I was
Yeah.
gonna go with Urgle.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll take my
Good
own
room.
room.
Yeah, I'm in my room.
You all.
I was.
Does one of you take 2 beds? Move the bed
As
from
soon
No,
the
I
as-
think we just don't use the third or the fourth one or whatever.
As soon as we're in the room, I'm casting Detect Magic.
Okay. And that's just you can.
Is that a cantrip?
No.
No.
So
Okay.
you're
Which means I
wild
get to
magic.
roll again, Owen.
Alright. See what you get.
I rolled a 2. Alright,
Oh, let's go. Okay.
well, first question. Do I detect any magic in the room besides whatever's about
Does
to
the
happen?
spell skill go off?
Yeah, it still goes off. It's
Okay.
just
You
it
don't-
goes off and this happens.
You don't detect any magic, but
Cool.
you don't. It's a very normal, basic room. Nothing really special going on here. And now is an important time to talk. So, Jacob, would you care to enlighten us on what type of sorcerer you're playing?
So I'm playing a wild magic sorcerer, but Owen and I have homebrewed it, so its ability called Wild Magic Surge happens more often, and there's more things that can happen.
Exactly.
So basically, I have little control over my magic, and random stuff happens. So let's see what happens
Oh.
here.
Is it okay if you roll the thing and then I pull up the table?
I mean, I guess.
I think I was just kind of viewing as like you should definitely roll for it, but I think it'd be fun if like I, as the DM, kind of describe it to you and you just have to experience it. 'Cause that's kind of how wild magic is anyway. Just you have no
I was just
control.
going to describe what happened, but that works too.
Okay, if you want to describe it a little bit, you can. That's fine. I'll just like if I describe it and you're like, no, I think it would happen a little more like this. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Do you want me to send you the table?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I actually the other day, this is off topic. I was just hanging out with Devin and we were talking about an assignment we were doing,
I just sent it to you. It's in the. It's in this Discord.
Yes.
Yep.
And we were just chatting, and I was like, "Oh, how well do you think we're gonna do on this test?" So I had my dice next to me. I pulled out my percentile dice, and I'm like, "Oh, let's see." And I rolled my very first nat 100 on a D100, and so I guess I'm gonna do perfect. That's just how it works. All right, roll me a D100, Will. Our first wild magic surge.
Oh, I rolled a 61.
All right. Okay, it's pretty late this time. Urgle, you watch as your good buddy Will sits there and starts to cast, and he sends out this earnest detection magic. But as it happens, you notice some sparks coming off of him, as it seems like his magic has gone awry and begins bursting in little areas. And then Will, he has his eyes shut and he's sitting there casting. And then as soon as he feels this energy go haywire over his body, he flinches and he reels back. Then he opens his eyes to view you, and Urgle is immediately blinded as Will, your eyes now glow like multicolored lanterns for the next 24 hours. As you blast Urgle with this beam of rave light. That's just...
This won't be a problem at all for sleeping.
So yeah, that's happening now.
No, Urgle.
Doesn't make any
We
noise.
had a band guy in here. We
No,
could
it's
get a
just
real
lanterns.
thing going.
It's just lights. It's just bzz, like headlights.
Got it.
Yeah,
What the
they're just-
hell?
You know, strangely, it doesn't affect my vision at all. I can still see perfectly fine. It's just
Yeah, everything's just illuminated for you. Actually, it's like you're just
this is great. I can see in the dark.
yeah.
I
Unfortunately,
can't see shit at all.
that happens here too. Cool.
You, wait, every time I look at you, you just get flashbang.
Pretty much.
Oh, sorry, Urgle. I'll just look away from you when I talk.
Cool. Anything else anyone else wants to do before they go to bed?
Can I investigate around the room and snoop around?
Sure. Yeah. Roll me investigation.
Ah, 4.
It's a room. You find a bed and a dresser, and that's it.
Perfect. Can I snoop around the dresser before?
I'll say that your investigation would carry over, and you do not discover really anything in the dresser. It's pretty empty.
Ah, it is a dresser. Got it.
It is, in fact,
go just-
you might not believe it, it's a dresser.
Okay, I'm good then. I learned a lot.
Exactly. Anyone else?
I'm just gonna use dancing lights and plays a little bit more bass before I take a little nighty-night nap.
Okay, sick. Yeah, no problem.
I'm just gonna plop onto the bed that I'm sleeping on.
All right, Bill. I said Bill. Bart, go ahead and roll me performance for this little practice thing. It will have an additional effect if you do well enough. Which I assume, yeah, you're a bard. The next performance check you use, because of all this practicing, will be at advantage. So keep that in mind. Cool. Yeah, you all go to sleep, and you rest goes off that hitch. You have a long rest. Long rest your characters. Doesn't really affect anyone, I think, except
Me.
you and Urgle, because Urgle did use a rage.
Yeah.
That's about, I think, all the people that would really be affected, because no one else casted spell slots or anything. So, yeah, you all take the long rest though, and you're fully healed up, and you step out, and instantly you smell pancakes and bacon.
Ooh, yeah, I can just charge downstairs.
All right, yeah, you zip downstairs. Not hard for you. You have wings. It's yeah.
I'll walk down. Me and my rave headlights will walk downstairs.
Yeah, I'll go downstairs.
Every time with Will now, I'm just gonna think of that meme of like the guy trying to sleep, and there's like the rave music outside.
I just wanna be a...
That's just what I picture every time now. All right, yeah. You all go down there, and yeah, sure enough, there's breakfast all served out, and now a different guard stationed there. And he goes, "Breakfast is served," and he just kind of goes back to standing his post.
Well, that wasn't very kind.
Hospitality is not my strong suit, sir, but providing services is what I'm here for. And yeah, he just hands it over. There's no payment. It's
What happened to that one guy? Hold on. What happened to that one guy? Never mind.
Well, you see,
I was trying to talk.
as it is impossible for one guard to stand here for the entire day and night and not have a bit of restfulness or wanting to return home to some kind of recreational
Okay.
activity, I guess you could say.
That's not what I meant, but thank you very much.
Okay.
Anyway, I go eat.
I go ahead.
Log into
Gra-
TikTok.
Go ahead and grab food, and then I go sit next to Bart.
Alright, yeah, you do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I start talking to Mina. What's up with you? Why are you in town?
I heard there's a festival going on, and I do enjoy festival and doing a little bit window shopping, I would say.
Window shopping. You seem pretty sneaky. And if memory serves me right, you were arrested earlier for trying to be a little sneaky.
That maybe not my best moment, I will say.
All right. Well,
No.
I guess gotta keep holding my pocket change then.
Yeah, you better watch that. Who knows? Might just
yeah.
slip right out of your pocket. Be darned pity.
Yep.
What about you?
I've only been here about a week, so this is actually the first time I know. Like, I just kind of woke up here. I don't know why, but I figured, and I remember everything before. I just don't know why I'm here. Anyway, so yeah, I heard about the festival. I figured I'd play in it, and that's how I'm here. So I'm playing. Just give me something to do while I figure out why I'm here.
Ah, that makes sense. Keeps the mind busy, well,
So the last thing I remember was something about a bus. I think it fell over or something. I can't 100% remember, but I think I'll as I get more info, I'll remember more.
Do I know what the crud of bus is or no?
You have no clue.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
You were very confused.
A what? A what fell over? You say? What are you talking about now?
Okay, so like, those like horse-drawn carriages that sometimes go around, or it's like that, but like with something else. Like it's kind of almost magic powered, but not really. It's a different kind of magic.
You're a strange fellow. You know that?
Yes, I am. It's powered by the same stuff that my bass guitar is powered by.
Makes sense. So it is powered by magic. Got it. Makes
Not exactly, but yeah, magic. We'll say magic.
Yeah. I mean, what else could it be powered by?
I don't know. Something else that is fundamental to the universe.
Well, magic is fundamental to the universe. I'm fairly certain, but
That's what I'm saying. Something else that's also fundamental to the universe. Can't really explain it, but
I see.
yeah.
Cool. We had lore.
Yeah,
We had
wait for the
plot.
next-
There's plot happening. Mom,
No
wake
way.
up. Get the camera. They're doing lore.
Start to change.
They're role playing, guys. I'm gonna drink water. I hope the mic picked up every bit of that.
ASMR.
Yep. Ugh. Cool. And yeah, you guys eat up your breakfast, and immediately you actually hear as you're eating, right as you finish, the doors swing open, and you notice the mayor walk in, and he goes, visit my finest employees. Would you come with me? Yeah, I think it would be very important if you join me down by the docks for this one.
Cool. Sounds
And then,
good.
as this is usual, he starts walking away without really listening to you guys' response.
I speedily follow along.
Cool.
Yep.
And everyone else stays there, and just Mina goes.
Yep.
Just me, myself, and
Do
I
you actually-
guess.
do you guys
Solo
You got
adventure.
this, Mina.
Do you guys actually want to stay?
We'll hang back.
I
I'd
go
like to
down.
look the mayor dead in his eyes.
He is not looking. He's already started walking away.
Mr. Mayor,
See-
wait.
He holds up. He stops for a moment and kind of turns. He does the thing where like he turns his head sideways, so you see like a profile view of him. He goes like,
I stare him dead in the eyes. With
the
my
one
headlights.
eye that's visible. He goes, I see there's more to learn about you every day, my friend. And he turns away and keeps walking.
Bro did not care.
Yeah. So he is heading to the docks. And I assume everyone's following, because if you don't, you'll miss lore.
Yep. You have to leave the call.
I guess I'll follow.
Yeah, we'll have to go into our separate chats.
Ooh.
Alright, cool. Everyone follows him, and they get down to the dock, and you see these two massive wooden ships resting there in the dock, and he brings you out there, and he goes, "Now," and you as at this point as you're getting up there, it's pretty early morning, but you notice about the same size crowd as last night gathering around the docks, all cheering, and they're all murmuring to each other, and they're all just being really excited. And the mayor brings the four of you up there to the back of the ship. Well, you go to both of the ships, then he goes, "Now, to officially kick off the tournament processions, I believe that everyone has formed their teams and is officially signed up." And he turns to you guys and, like, elbows one of you, gives a wing, goes like, "I took care of that for you." And then he leans back to everyone else and just shouts out, "The festivities will begin as soon as these great vessels debark from our harbor. So I request that all of you please wish the sailors and their travelers who might be leaving today a fine farewell as they make their departure to our grand capital city. And I ask that in doing so of wishing them a lovely trip, I ask that you give them a great cheer of our motto. On three, everyone. 1, 2, 3." And everyone shouts out, "Praeter non fracti." And then
Praeter non fracti.
And then the mayor, Mr. Haldon, he goes over. I'm gonna actually roll for this one. Looking in order of Discord, he goes up to Urgle.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I dropped it. He goes up to Urgle and Bart, and he hands each of you a bottle of mead, and he says,
Sweet!
if either of you have heard of a christening, would you care to give our fine vessels a fine farewell?"
Praeter non fracti!
What he said.
And he gestures both of you to both of the boats that are on either side of the dock. And he just goes, "Well, then christen away, my friends."
Mead.
Do you guys actually... Wait, I need to question now because I'm curious. Do you guys know what he means by christen the boat?
No.
Pushing it? I don't know.
Christen it. It's the thing where, like, when a boat's leaving and you wish a safe travel.
Oh, you fire it off?
No, you smash a bottle of alcohol against the side of the boat.
Oh,
It's
okay.
that thing.
I've never heard
Oh,
that. But
bro.
okay,
I guess
do
I probably
that.
should have mentioned that. I didn't know if I thought that was just a regular thing. That's my bad. Yeah, so
Urkel's
he's
just
saying,
gonna down that bottle.
he's
I was
saying,
gonna
like,
say, I'm just gonna drink it.
he says, "Please go to either boat and give the bottle a good whack against the side. Wish it good luck on its journey, and of course, as all of you may know, give it a solid praeter non fracti."
I go up to the
I
one of
throw
the
it. I
boats.
absolutely. I give it a. I make it look like a slider.
Oh, you're throwing
It's
it.
insane. Yeah.
Roll a like a thrown a weapon or projectile. So just roll your dexterity.
Okay.
Or if you want to use like if one of your skills is better, I would say acrobatics or athletics could also work here.
I already rolled it, so it's 11.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't hit exactly where you're aiming, but it does hit the boat. It's pretty massive, and it just crashes against the end. And yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to the boat he didn't hit, and just like chug the mead and then throw the bottle at the boat.
Okay. I will let you know, like, you guys don't have to throw it. Like, you're pretty close to the boat. You could just reach out and smash it.
I think it's more fun.
But if you want to throw it, you can. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, you chug it. Roll me a Constitution saving throw. I know you're going to pass, but, like, you might as well.
That's a 18.
Yeah, you pass easy. It's just mead. After what you've had, you are hardened by war.
I am that guy when
you
it comes
are
to
that
alcohol.
guy. And then you reel back and you chuck the bottle. Roll me a ranged weapon attack, so just your dexterity.
That is a 19.
Yeah, you like nail exactly the spot you're landing. Throw it, it smashes. Noticeably a less colored and less splashy smash of the bottle than Bart's, but because you had no liquid in it. But it still smashes square where you want it to, and then the boats begin sailing as the wind catches their sails, and you hear calls to deck as people are shuffling around, and people start standing on the bow of the ship looking for the new land, and then they sail off into the lake. And everyone watches as they float off into the distance, everyone all excited and cheering, and you hear tons of shouting the classic pre-Terranon Fracti over and over and over again. And then they all start shouting, and then the mayor turns around after they've gone a bit of ways and he goes, with that out of the way, I suppose the tournament shall begin. And at this moment, you notice something with the rightmost ship, the one that Urgel had smashed a bottle against. They're both floating about the same speed, heading in the same direction, but you notice as the one that he hit, there appears to be less cheering and excitement and more silence, and then fear and anger and just all this screaming coming from the boat as you notice people running around, and then instantly an explosion from the port side of the ship, so in between the two boats on its left side, explodes, wood and shrapnel shooting out in every direction as the boat rocks to one side and starts to kind of stabilize itself, but as it leans back onto its left side, or its port side I should say, it catches water into the now formed hole and it starts to get weighed down. The ship's starting to sink as you see more explosions on board burst out from the sides of the ship, and the mast start to crack and shift, and you see the mast crack to its left, or I guess again port I should say, and then slam down onto the side of its neighboring ship. All four of you roll me your perception.
Come on.
That is
11.
a 13.
14.
It is loading. $18.
18. So 13, 14, 18. Who am I missing?
11.
11.
I was 11.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Wimba, Urgel, remember this is a wisdom check.
Oh.
So you have advantage on your next 3 after drinking it. So I think you might have had another perception in between then or now, but we'll just say this is your first one. If you want.
Okay.
If you want
I rolled it at advantage for it, and I got an 18.
Okay, yeah. So 11, 18, 18, and 14? What was the other one? What did you get, Jacob?
14.
14. Okay, yeah, that's right. So Jacob, I'll start with Bart. You just see this mass crash and you have no idea what's going on. Everything is just a haze, and the chaos and the panic is overwhelming.
I'm gonna use Mage Hand and block myself.
What do you mean?
Use it to block any shrapnel that could happen. I don't know if it's
pretty. It's far away. It wouldn't have hit you, but if you want to use your mage hand to help cover yourself, yeah, that's fine. That works.
Yeah, just instinctively.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you cast your mage hand and cover yourself as you're kind of like cowering, just like trying not to get hit by any loose fragments that might go flying. And then Jacob, you notice a lot of discourse and a lot of eruption of panic. You see almost a source of it that starts on the right ship, and you see after a small while, it almost seems to transfer somehow to the other ship, as now it seems like the other people are starting to panic and there's something running around. But specifically, Urgel and Mina both notice a small blurry blob from how far away you are. You can notice a small figure running across the mast that is now broken over to the other ship, and a mere few seconds after that blob has hit the other ship, you hear more explosions, and another hole opens up, and the mast comes crashing down, and the boat starts sinking. And you watch as all of the people, you hear all the crowd behind you screaming in panic, not knowing what's going on. Mysteriously enough, you notice the mayor just standing in pure and utter fear at what's all going on right here. And as the explosions go off, you watch the two ships sink, and everyone is now gone, as there is nothing after this chaotic eruption of panic and fire and just sounds of terror. As they all sink to the bottom, you hear nothing but an eerie silence.
Mayor, was this your doing?
You will get the answer to that on the next episode of
Alright.
Rights and Wrongs.
Whoa.
Thank you all for being here for the first episode. This was this is a lot of fun. I know we didn't do much combat. That was definitely,
I don't think that makes sense.
I just wanted to get us into the role-playing mood. Just get us a fun story set up, see what's going on here. And I'm very happy with this episode. I don't know about you guys. I know Jacob is currently struggling from sickness and allergies, so he's trucking along. I didn't expect him to just be overbursting with joy, but I'm happy he's here.
That's good.
But
I was gonna say something.
Oh yeah, I did.
I like the length. It was like nice. It's like we started around 8:30ish, so like 2 to 3 hours. That's pretty good.
About 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid. You know what? Solid length. I gotta say, this is the most solid length I've ever seen. It's
not too long, not too short.
It's just the perfect length. It's just I've never seen a more perfect.
Okay.
Pause.
Okay.
Rewind.
What are we? I don't think we're talking about time anymore.
But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you all so much for being here on this episode, and thank you, the viewer, especially for listening. Well, I say viewer. I don't know what you call podcast. I guess listeners.
Listeners,
Yours.
I guess.
I think you.
No, not hearers. Listeners.
Hearers. Auditory witnesses. Thank you all so much, listeners. We very much appreciate your patronage and you just listening to our fun little stories that we're telling here. We're very excited to keep this going. If you are wanting to look into more things that I have done, since really only me and Jackie here make content, but if you're interested in that, you can go to Linktree /DocFusion. I believe how the Linktree URL works is that it's it's linktr.ee/DocFusion. If you want to go there, then you'll find links to my YouTube channel and this podcast. As soon as it goes up, you'll also find a link there to the other podcast that I do called Look Mama Made a Podcast. Even to our old podcast, Deoxys Ex Machina, which is now over and not happening anymore. But if you want to listen to it, there's like 3 episodes up for you if you're interested. A lot of fun times that we're having. You can check out Jackie if you go to Squidplay on YouTube. I believe it's at Squidplay05 on YouTube.
I think that's right. Yes.
Cool.
Sounds correct.
Yeah, a lot of fun things happening. What were some of your guys' thoughts on that session? Especially when you hear from the newcomers too. Yeah, I'm glad you had fun. I'm very happy.
Yep.
You got to run through a door.
You did. You got to show your desire to burst through walls and doors already.
Yeah.
It's okay. Will get his tea.
Maybe.
Wait, are we still recording? Or are we?
We're still recording. Yeah, I'm just curious.
Okay, got it. Just make sure.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, fun.
It was a good time.
Fun
I like the
first
story.
episode. Yep. Good setup. I agree.
I'm glad.
Definitely.
I'm glad.
Pretty immersive. So.
I'm very happy that you came off. I'm very happy that you all had fun there. So I'm also, of course, looking forward to telling the story. This is one that I've had planned for a few months now. In some respects, it's only grown and expanded since then, so I have a lot of different ideas and a lot of different things going on. But yeah, I think especially though, something else you'll find on my link tree, again, that's linktr.ee/DocFusion. You'll also find a link to my Discord server, where in it, there is a brand new category for people to check out for the Rights and Wrongs podcast. It'll be available, obviously, right now. It's been available for, at this point, about a week. But there you can go and have your discussions and ask questions for the people. And you'll also find a Google form for you to sign out, where if you want to suggest a name, either your own or a fictional one, you can suggest a name and potentially have it appear as an actual NPC in the campaign. So yeah, go ahead and do that. It's very exciting. We're very happy to see some viewer and listener engagement. So please go check it out. Go check our Discord. Check out everyone's stuff. New episodes of Rights and Wrongs will be airing every other Thursday. And yeah, we're really looking forward to doing this. Are you guys excited? Jacob's excited.
Yeah, very excited.
Yeah.